What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I got a couple quick updates for you. One regarding the NFL's continued outbreak with COVID-19, and the other topic of conversation is regarding an injury update to a Dolphins player that is not very good, unfortunately. Yeah, so, and I'm actually going to mention a couple other players as well from other teams, just to kind of, further put things into perspective. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start with the COVID news, and from Yahoo Sports, multiple places are reporting on this, but that's where this article is from. Jets player and coaches reportedly sent home after presumptive positive COVID-19 test. So they had a positive test. The reason why they're saying presumptive is because they're doing retesting and they're hoping that the first one was a negative. I haven't gotten any additional alerts since, so my guess is it still remains a positive, or at least it does officially right now. I imagine if they had come back with a negative, it would have happened already, because the tests don't take that long, and, they would have said something about it. I don't know, maybe I just missed it, but as of me making this video, the Jets do have a positive test. Anyway, the New York Jets have sent all players and coaches home after a player had a presumptive positive COVID-19 test come back on Friday, ESPN's Adam Schefter reported. Let's just real quick note, though, that player could have easily come in contact with other players or personnel, staff members, in the time that, he was at the facility and whatever. So, contact tracing is going to be important. Obviously, they sent everybody home, so that's good. And they're obviously going to be doing more testing, so that's good. But, again, they can't fucking control this shit, and they're not going to be able to. The organization sent all players and coaches home out of an abundance of caution, and the player is being retested per Pro Football Talk. The NFL is still dealing with fallout from positive tests last week that forced scheduling changes. There were reportedly no new positive tests for the Tennessee Titans and the New England Patriots on Friday, putting those games on track to be played. Now, at least for the Titans, they're like a day, maybe 2 days at this point. I don't know. Days blend together. Removed from having their most recent positive test. But, a day goes by and the NFL's like, oh, no new positives? Great. Let's fucking keep this shit rolling. It's not exactly how that works, but that's how they're going to make it work until it doesn't, right? So eventually the NFL's going to have to end their season because of COVID and because of injuries primarily, but additional factors that play into that as well. That's my guess and prediction, but we will have to wait and see. Let's see. Jets sent home 2 days before week 5. The coaches and players were sent home to help mitigate the spread of the virus and keep an outbreak from happening. The Titans are facing serious repercussion from the NFL for their handling of cases and potentially violating the league's COVID-19 protocol. Let's see. The Jets 0-4 are scheduled to host the Arizona Cardinals 2-2 for a 1 p.m. game on Sunday at MetLife Stadium. The Cardinals were expected to leave Arizona late Friday. A presumptive positive could impact that plan. The Patriots flew in and out of Kansas City on Monday for their game that night following one COVID-19 positive test on each team. The Cardinals can't do the same with such a long plane ride and the significant time change. Patriots quarterback Cam Newton was placed on the COVID-19 reserve list ahead of the Week 4 game. Cornerback Stephon Gilmore has since announced he tested positive for COVID-19 and was placed on the list. So anyway, another team affected, another positive, and the outbreak continues to spread. And, anyway, I mean, it really does get exhausting repeating myself. Like, people, and furthermore, it gets exhausting, having to only talk about negative shit. People think, like, I enjoy being negative or whatever, which is absolutely not the case. But the world fucking sucks, and I refuse to just, lie about it and live in some fantasy world that doesn't exist, because that doesn't help me or anybody else. Anyway, so as much as it fucking sucks, I gotta keep it real. And so that's where we're at right now. And, so buckle up, because the ride is gonna continue to get bumpy. Alright, so, now there is a pretty major injury update for the Miami Dolphins. Before I mention that, though, I do want to add, obviously the injuries have been just astronomical this year. But, you know, last night in the Bucs game, you know, their defensive tackle Vita Vea got an injury, and now he's out for the season. I saw an alert that the Cowboys' star left tackle is going to be out for the season with an injury now all of a sudden. And I guess a bit of good injury news, though, positive injury news, is that, although not good for the Dolphins, is that it looks like Jimmy Garoppolo might be ready to play for this game against the Dolphins. So it looks like Jimmy Garoppolo potentially could be back. There's no official word there yet. They haven't said for sure from what I've seen, but there is a potential or a possibility for him to return for the game, which would not be good for the Dolphins, you know, because we were going to be going into it talking about, is it going to be Mullins? Is it going to be Beathard? My guess actually, and you know, tomorrow's my preview video, but my guess is actually that they were probably going to put CJ Beathard in there over Mullins, considering how, you know, he almost brought them back to a win in their game against the Eagles this past week after Mullins got benched. But anyway, now to the Dolphins injury news, which is not good. Dolphins are putting their left tackle, Austin Jackson, on IR. Now, that doesn't mean the same thing. IR is different. It used to be, you know, you'd go on and you can only come back, I think it was like, you know, 2 or 3 players, whatever, 2 players, I think it is, after, you know, week 8, the middle of the season, right? Or something like that, week 8, week 9, the middle of the season. Now it's like, IR, you have to spend like 3 or 4 weeks or something like that on IR. Anyway, he's on IR. He's not going to be back for a little while, and so that fucking sucks. The Dolphins are in no rush to replace quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick, but he's a little less secure today in other ways. According to Hal Habib of the Palm Beach Post, the Dolphins are putting rookie left tackle Austin Jackson on injured reserve. Jackson, their first-round pick from Southern Cal, has started all 4 games this year. He left last week's game with a foot injury and will miss at least the next 3 weeks now that he's on IR. To fill his roster spot, they promoted running back Salvon Ahmed to the active roster. And, yeah. So, and let's also note that Solomon Kinley, our other rookie starter, right guard, is also dealing with a foot injury. So, that's problematic. And we'll see how that plays out. We'll see who ends up playing left tackle. Julian Davenport came in for him. For Austin Jackson in this last game, so we'll see if he ends up being the starting left tackle against the 49ers. But and if that's the case, that's a disaster, and Julian Davenport is a massive downgrade. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Check out my preview video tomorrow, and then obviously I'll be doing a live stream for the game on Sunday. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. I hope you guys enjoy my videos and appreciate my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. And of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.